Hey, it's Robo Warrior, and this is not a knockoff review of any Studio Series figure as I do per usual. This is gonna be a little throwback review for something I found. This is a sealed in box Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster from several years ago, from one of the very early movies. And I was thinking if I want to open this thing or not because it looks very pretty in this box. It's like, I mean, this is like on what we used to get with old boxes. It's like it's got a plastic bubble inside. It's all like you can see the figure expecting vehicle mode, which they don't do. They don't do very often these days. I think the last time they did this was with the Velocitron series, something from Legacy. And also this is like a huge box. It's got like transformers all over the place here. You can see through all the sides here. Got some like real cool artwork here in the back. You see it has like 3 modes. Got the truck mode, robot mode, and there is like this extra like anti-aircraft gun mode, I guess. Some kind of like turret with the mix truck drone pieces, like making some kind of shields here. I've heard from some people this mode here is kind of weak. It's more like a doesn't hold together very well or something. More like an afterthought. Not pretty sure about that, but I'm gonna check this out anyway. Like this is like one of the old boxes, and this is like a modern box for like a Voyager class figure. And I think it's safe to say this is like pretty terrible. This is like falling apart because it's like just thin cardboard. There's nothing like there's some cool artwork, but I don't think it's nearly as cool as this kind of box. So since I'm going to tear this thing open, let's make it for a video. So as you can see here, weird enough, like I was told this was like sealed in the box, but it's actually open here. But then the ties holding the figure are still there. Like it was doesn't look like it was like previously open or anything. Just someone like cut the tape here, pulled the tray off, and I don't know, put this back together for I don't know. So since it's already open here, don't have to cut anything. And come to a cardboard tray. As you can see here, it got the figure and a little missile here. We're gonna know what this is for in a moment. So to tear this thing open, gotta go to the back here, and there's some actual plastic ties. Nowadays they use I think paper ties. They use they don't use plastic ties anymore. And I think there's just 2 holding the figure, so that's pretty good. Should be very easy to pull this thing off, to pull this thing out of the box. And it might be easier if I cut this thing too from here. And here is Mixmaster, I guess. And there is a missile too. Let me see how I'm gonna get this missile out of here because it's pretty small. Don't wanna. Okay, but that was pretty easy. So he comes with this purple missile, and there is like this gun underneath that is for his like artillery turret mode. I don't know if you can store here. Maybe you can keep there. Yeah, yes, you absolutely can. So yeah, you don't lose your missile. You can just keep here all times if you want to. And here is the truck mode, the cement mixer truck mode. And let me get this in camera a little bit better. Okay, that's better now. And this is a pretty big Voyager, and for like nowadays, like I don't have anything to compare like right now, but this is a leader class next to a Voyager class. They are pretty much the same size. like this was a Voyager, this is a leader class, and in terms of length, there's not. I mean, his courage is a bit longer because he's taller, because of his legs here, but I mean they feel just as about as meaty as much as each other. I mean, it feels like there's pretty much the same amount of plastic in both of these. So this is like this is a leader, this is a Voyager. They feel about the same. And for like a more fair comparison, here is the Optimus Prime from the Revenge of the Fallen line too. This is the Hunt for the Decepticons one. Actually, more like the Dark of the Moon version of this figure, which had like this sparkly decals here. There was some on the windows too. I took that off with a little bit of alcohol, and as you can see here, really big truck mode. Yep. So just take these guys out of here because the review is about Mixmaster, and let's take a bit of a look at this truck mode. It's a really nice truck mode. It's a bit not holding together that well because there's mold sector and ball joints and they don't lock in anything. As you can see, there's a lot of detail on this thing. Do you see, like, especially the paint on this thing is like pretty nice. I don't think I don't know if the whole cab is painted, but as you can see here, there's like a subtle shade of like brown, like it's like dirt in the front, like some kind of dirty. They kind of like airbrushed this with a little bit of brown or something. That's like a very subtle detail, but it looks really nice. There's no silver for the grill, which I guess is fine. Doesn't look terrible. And clear purple for the windows. That's like really nice. That's something that makes me prefer the figure over the Studio Series. The Studio Series version of the figure I think is really boring because the figure is pretty much all gray, and there is like occasionally some bits of silver breaking up the figure. There's no clear plastic like this is in the Studio Series figure. This is all painted silver, and I think while it's not accurate, I think the clear purple it looks a lot more menacing, a lot more cooler looking. And see, the drone does not spin; it's fixed in place because of the transformation. How it works, you see, you have some like sand color for the back here. This got a lot more color than the Studio Series version, and I don't know if the Studio Series one got painted caps on the wheels, because these like are all painted silver. They look really nice, and this is also rolls really well. Now that we covered the truck mode, let's take this thing to robot mode, shall we? And as you can see here, I think I haven't tried transforming this yet, so this might be quite a long video. And let's see where we start. I don't like looking at instructions. We're gonna go instructionless on this one, just figuring it out by its own. And it's probably gonna be a bit hard to figure this out because this is like known for being one of the like most like difficult figures to transform between modes in the Revenge of the Fallen line, and there's a lot of moving pieces here. Okay, this opens up pretty straightforward, and I suppose these are his arms. I think it's just the easiest way to do this is just, there's a lot of moving pieces, so I think the easiest way of doing this is just wiggling things apart until the whole thing just comes apart. And okay, this moves too, and oh wow, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, this I know it's supposed to get out of the way. And let's see, pretty sure I'm supposed to separate the cab from the drum, but I don't see what's holding it together. I know there are some hinges here in the back. Let's hope I don't. Oh, okay, that's. Oh, it's just rusting or anything? Oh no, it's just painted brown here. Not more like a little bit of a copper color. I was wondering, I was like worried if this thing was so long in the box that some of the screws started rusting, but actually just paint, thankfully. Okay, we just think these things up, open these things, and we separate. I think these are his arms from this body, and here's the cannon. And maybe this is gonna make his legs. I mean, here's his arms, this must be his legs, and parts of his torso, and oh, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, yeah, pretty much here's his legs. And I might be crazy, but I'm the only one who thinks this looks a bit like General Grievous from Star Wars. This kind of reminds me of General Grievous for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, get his legs out of here, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's see, this is gonna be probably just a loose piece in his back, like this is probably just gonna be straight up kibble. And we're gonna work with his limbs now. Let's see, okay, this rotate for some reason. There's no automorph on the scene apparently, so nothing is gonna really do, this figure is not gonna do any job for us here. I'm gonna have to figure it out all by myself. Let me get a reference picture of how the robot mode is supposed to look in the back of the box. So these wheels, they have to end up inside his body somehow. Let me see how I get this to work here, because it's a lot of spaghetti here. And how I do this, let's see. Okay, this doesn't give any more clearance, and it already does. Okay, what I do with this thing, they just sit on his back, I think they just sit on his back like this. Just have to get out of the way, definitely, because they're really getting the way here. And let's see, these wheels are gonna get inside here according to the picture in the back of the box, and this is gonna make his, I guess, crotch here. I think it's a very weird design because it's a Michael Bay like Decepticon. It has to look like some kind of like weird insect. I guess compresses here, and I guess yeah. I see now how it's gonna go. I see how this is gonna go now. Okay, this makes his body, and here's his arms, here's his legs, and I guess the most like difficult thing I already figured out. Let's see, and this is a lot of cable in his arms, like the whole like wheels of the truck, and how he make this thing stand up on his own, because these are his feet, but there's a lot of stuff here. There's this panel. What I do with this panel, just okay, it just hangs side like this. It just hangs like that, and this is like okay, this snaps in, and that's his foot, pretty much, and just repeat the same thing on the other side. And this is going to snap back down here. So these are pretty much his legs. And his arms, let me see, I guess just fold the hands out like that. Hands like between quotes is like more like claws. And I guess it shows like this thing is supposed to rotate around. You know, I'm just gonna leave like that. I'm gonna fix this later. Get the other arm here. And okay, these pieces are supposed to hang out like this. I think I should raise the camera because this is getting pretty big. Okay, this should be better. Is fitting frame now, the whole thing. And what I do here, oh lord. There is a ton of moving parts in this video. Okay, this is supposed to be like this, and then this goes back there, and that's pretty much what it shows in the back of the box. Okay, his head got a little movement there, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the cannon. I guess these pieces all move out of the way and the cannon just goes there. Yeah, there's even a point where it snaps in here. Kind of loosely snaps in. Why I'm doing this wrong? I'm pretty sure I'm doing this wrong. This is the first time I transformed this thing. Alright, good enough. And this sits back here, and this just rotates. And does it bag into something? Oh, there's like this thing here. And I guess it goes here. Come on. Come on, cooperate with me. Yeah, this is not an easy transformation. Come on. Am I doing anything else wrong here? Okay, I think I got it. That's pretty much how this is supposed to sit. Literally just sticking out of his butt. He's got the entire cab of the truck sticking out of his butt. I'm pretty sure I transformed this correctly. So, that's pretty much all of it. I just wonder if these things are like, because it showed these things like the wheels flipped around in the box. What I'm doing wrong here. You know what, this is good enough. I think it looks good enough. And you remember when I say this looks kind of like General Grievous? If this thing had like 4 arms, I think it would definitely look like a lot like General Grievous. Like he's got his like lengthy body with his like skinny arms. And that's pretty much the robot mode. It's a pretty weird robot mode, but it's a pretty, I say, cool looking robot mode. So that's go through articulation, I guess. There's a lot of moving stuff here. It's got I think his thigh swivels. His thighs he's like move up and down here. There's an actual thigh swivel here. His crotch is really weird. I don't know if I can make this like better. I think this actually looks better. I know it's not. I don't know if the box is like showing the mistransformed or something, but I think this looks like a little bit better. It makes him a heck of a lot more tall. But it looks like he's got a proper crotch and he's got a proper like thighs here, and then he's at his knees. I think this looks better. But that's not how the box shows he's supposed to be. I probably should look at the instructions, because some of the pictures there's older like pictures they have in the boxes. A lot of people would make things like mistransform, so I definitely should check the instructions if this is correct, because it's not always is. Keep the way it was. And here in the foot he's got like, there's no tilting side to side, but it does go forward and back. And okay, it's coming apart here. And yeah, it's totally coming apart here in the back. There is a lot of junk hanging out of his butt here. I'm not kidding. There's literally a lot of junk sticking out of his butt. Okay, stay there. And then for his arms, it's got like several hinges here. It's got like, this is kind of loose. I wonder if I can tighten this up with some super glue or anything. But it's got like rotation here, a hinge. It's got like a butterfly joint of all things here. And there's another like joint that can move his arm forward. And then there is like another joint here that can move his arm even more forward. And then there is like this hinge here, this hinge, and then here there's a, okay, this is not a ratchet, it looks like it would be like ratchet. There's some indents here. Move his arm even more, like he can literally scratch his back here, I guess. And then which is his elbow, and then his fingers are pretty much like this. Is like pretty weird fingers that I think they should be like facing each other, but they don't do that. They don't do that. That's pretty much how his hands look, and they are rubber plastic, but they are painted quite nicely here. You can see there's some of this like brown color here. And let me see if I can get him standing with all this junk in his back and this weird feet he's got, because he's got pretty weird feet. Can he stand? Yeah, he can totally stand on his own. And that's pretty much it for the robot mode, I guess. And can he deploy the gun? No, he can't. Unless he does this, he can deploy the gun. And to actually fire the gun, there's like this button here. And let me see if I can. I'm probably gonna shoot the camera, but whatever. Yeah, it shoots the missile like this. So let's put this back here. And that wasn't all that hard. I heard this figure was a lot worse than this. So I'm gonna get this thing to the. I'm gonna try getting this to the artillery like turret mode, and I'm gonna do this off camera because this figure is like falling apart, and I don't know how hard it's gonna be to get him to that mode. So I'm just gonna do this off camera. So let me make a little jump cut here. Here's the artillery turret mode. As you can see, I completely jump skipped the whole transformation because it was not easy to figure out this transformation. I followed actually the manual, something that I don't usually do because transformers usually are kind of straightforward to like get from one mode to another, but this mode was no joke. As you can see here, you literally do like start within robot mode, and then you flip a bunch of stuff. You look at this, you basically turn him into a ball, and then you turn him into a mess. This is like an absolutely ugly mess. And then you do like something here. I know you have to do supposed to have the wheels touching the ground, like some kind of mobile artillery mode, like here. Apparently he's supposed to roll, which is not what shows in the box. Like it doesn't have the. You can see here the wheels aren't even touching the ground here, and the shield is in a different position, which shows in the instructions. You see, it's got the shield, shields, and like more from to one side, and in the box it shows the shields to the inside, which I think this mode makes more sense because they're like covering more of the robot mode. Like probably not even the designers knew, or maybe the people who took these photos knew how this thing is supposed to transform, because I had to look through some reviewers to some videos on YouTube to have sure how to make sure if I'm doing this correctly, because some points of this transformation not even I knew what I was doing, because there are some places where it snaps together. Here in his torso, the front of the truck, there's a place where it stays in here, but the legs don't stay in very well. They don't stay in very well. There's nothing really clipping and holding them together. They just wobble here. You gotta just line the wheels with the ground and get the can on the front, and that's pretty much it. Mixmaster back to his robot mode, because this is superior mode. We're gonna end the video here with a little comparison with Optimus, and this is the Revenge of the Fallen one. is the Battle Hooks variant. As I said, this is the Dark of the Moon, like a reissue of the figure. And as you can see, they are pretty much the same size if you count the tip of the cannon on his back. And this is also pretty awesome. By the way, this is a very awesome figure. Let me know in the comments if you want a review of this Optimus Prime, because I haven't done a review of this one yet. And also here is Rise of the Beast Scourge, which, as I said before, he looks taller, but that's because his legs are bigger. If I extend the legs of Mixmaster, he'll just be just as tall as a Scourge here. So that's pretty much it. Do I recommend this figure over the Studio Series? Yeah, some might ask. I'd say if you don't mind the fact that this is not meant to combine with others and make a Devastator, because I think they didn't even make all the Constructicons that make Devastator. I think Overload was missing from that original Revenge of the Fallen toy line, and they were never designed to combine with each other to begin with. There is no like connection ports where you can plug other Constructicons on this guy. He's just pretty much the robot mode, the truck mode, and the cannon mode. And he's not as accurate, sure, but I think this is like a much cooler figure. He's got more features, and you know, it feels real nice. The transformation is it's a pretty cool transformation. It's like pretty involved one. I don't think the Studio Series figure has a transformation as cool as this one. Don't have that one, so I don't have exactly the Studio Series, but I've seen some reviews of it. I don't think it's just as cool as this figure. In truck mode too, the truck mode this one is also much cleaner than the truck mode of the Studio Series one. I think the Studio Series one has the feet sticking out his back, something like that. So that's pretty much it for the review, and I see you in a possible next video. Goodbye.